was shaking my dreads, shaking them. Before I knew it, literally shaking them. So honestly speaking, you complain and then you see it grow and then people start telling you. It's so interesting. I really got to a point where at some point I'm like, you know what? Something is happening here. My hair feels heavier. It has more volume, it has more bounce. I definitely started listening and seeing things kind of late. But what I did notice was things I wasn't looking for. So I was focused on the wrong thing as always, as I've been saying. But I started seeing other things. Like I started realizing, like, hold on, there's some weight to your hair. When you shake your hair, it hurts now. When it hits your face, it's like, ow, ow. Like that kind of hurts. So that was something I noticed. Like, wow, so my hair got weight to it. It's heavy now. Like, it got some volume. It got some density. Like, this shaking hurts. This shaking is not cute no more. Now I feel it. It's like, psh, 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 psh. And it's hurting. Like, I'm getting smacked with a wet rag. Like, that was something I noticed. I'm like, okay, this is new. This is different. This is not what you was experiencing before. You was shaking and was nothing shaking with you. You didn't feel it. But eventually, that shake started to hurt. I felt the volume. I felt the weight. I felt the growth. I didn't see it, but I felt it. I felt how heavy my hair felt all of a sudden. I felt, the sway in my ponytail. I felt the the heaviness. That wasn't there before. Must be nice. Yes, I felt that. So that was a sign. I started to feel the volume, feel the weight, feel the smacks with the hair hurting, not being cute, but it hurting. And that was different. That was very different because again, I was shaking my dreads and nothing was shaking. One day I started shaking and it was smacking me like pow, pow, pow. And it was hurting. So okay, all right. My dress is growing right now because they got weight. I feel them. I'm shaking them and they smacking me and it's like, ooh, I may have a black eye from my hair. So yes, shout out to the chat. So that was a sign. The next sign for me is that it was getting fuller. It wasn't growing long, but it was getting fuller. It was really looking fat from the beginning to the end. It was looking super fat and chunky all the way through. I'm like, oh, is that my hair? All of a sudden, they were just really full and fuzzy and thick. Like they were really juicy. Like, I don't know, like broccoli stems. They were really thick and fat. And I'm like, okay, this is different. This is nice. I didn't know that they were gonna get full and fat and juicy like that. So I was feeling that, like, okay, I like this thick, fat, juicy look. This is really cute. I can dig this. And with that, I'm like, okay, it's gonna look like this. They got all thick and full. Like, okay, this is nice. Because I thought it were perm hair, so I didn't think they would get full and fluffy and juicy like that. But when they got full and fluffy and juicy, I'm like, okay, I can work with this. Like, my natural hair wasn't this juicy, so I like this. This juice is cool. And I still have some juicy ones here still. There's still some juicy full ones. It's definitely time for me to wash my hair. My hair is super dirty. But yes, I noticed the fuller, thicker hair. Even the areas of my hair that was really thin in the beginning were super full with my locks. I'm like, ooh, look at that. Is it getting full and plump like dreadlocks? Is it starting to look like something? It is starting to look like something. Ooh, girl. That was the energy. So I did see that, but I was looking for other stuff. Those weren't the things I wanted to see. Those were the least of the things I wanted to see. I wasn't interested in fuller and thicker and heavyweight. I was looking for something totally different. So to me, it was like, I see something, but I don't know still. Which leads me to the next part, which is people really started noticing and identifying me and giving me compliments about my hair. People I did not know, like, "Ooh, your locks are looking really nice," or "Nice dreadlocks," or "Cute hairstyle," or "I like your hair," or "Who does your hair?" or you look good in locks, or that's a nice color on you, or ooh, that fits you, or how long you been locked? Conversations, all of that. Like people just started wanting to engage, wanting to talk, wanting to ask questions, wanting to know what I did, who I went to for how long, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Like there were all these friendly engagements from people. Meanwhile, I was still caught up in it's not doing what I wanted to do. It looks messy, it looks frizzy, but other people are actually starting to identify and say, "Oh, okay, so you're on the life journey. You have dreadlocks. Okay, cool. So, how long and da da da, what kind and da 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 da. You know, like it was there. Like there were a great deal of people that knew exactly what was going on with my hair. They weren't questioning it. They knew it wasn't twist. They knew it wasn't braids. They understood it was a dreadlock journey. They understood I was in the beginning of the dreadlock journey. Meanwhile, I was still struggling. But that's neither here or there. Um, and I say all that to say that sometimes, other people see before you see it. And that kind of sucks because you get yourself every day, like, how can I not notice it? But sometimes other people see before you see it. And sometimes that can be motivation to you, let you know, like, it's all good, it's going in the right direction, there's nothing wrong. And people understand, people identify what I'm trying to do. And I don't have to worry about it looking crazy because many people understand I'm on the journey, what that means. And it is not going to look perfect all the time. And, it is what it is, pretty much, in short. Honestly speaking, like that's how some people identify with it. And again, for me, I did not notice the real growth because for me, I was looking for length. I was looking for my hair to look longer. I wasn't interested in it to being thicker. I wanted length. I wanted it to be on my shoulders, down my back. I wanted it to look like somewhat close to my natural hair before I dreaded up. And I hated that it got shorter, it shrunk. There was other things going on that I could not control. So again, just recircling one time, I was looking for the different kind of results. The results I was getting, the results I was seeing wasn't good enough for me at the time. I want to see just length, 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 length. I didn't care about fullness. I didn't care about thickness, as much as length. I didn't care about, it being heavy and then having to weight as much as length. Length was my big, big, big goal. Good evening, Cynical. How are you? That's all I wanted was the length. I just wanted to be able to shake my dreads. I want to be able to do this because I always admire people, when their hair is long, when it's flowing in the wind, or, we can just tell they've been on the journey for years and they put a lot of work into it. I'm like, ooh, I want to be one of those people. I want to be able to show my crown and see, people can say, well, how long have you been locked? They could just tell by the length it's over X amount of years, but to each his own. Really, really to each his own, but I was looking for the wrong kind of growth. I was definitely looking for the wrong kind of growth. And it's okay. It's definitely okay because when you know better, you do better. And honestly speaking, once people start acknowledging your locks, once people start actually knowing what you're doing with your hair and what's going on with that ugly, messy, weird phase, you'll get more grace. I feel like it's more in our head. We're more in our head than we realize. So for us, it's like we're being extra nitpicky about every little thing, but it's never that serious. But to us, it's a big, big deal though. But it's never really that serious. At the end of the day, it's all good because we care about our appearance, we care about how we look, how we're perceived, if we're at work, we're with family, friends, loved ones, girlfriends, or just out and about. Everyone wants to look presentable. No one wants to look like a hot, disheveled mess. So who would want to do that? But I say all that to say, I did notice a real growth, and the real growth was not just it growing long, but it getting fuller, it getting heavier, it getting thicker. People acknowledging it on face value without me having to explain and tell the whole story. Me being patient along the entire journey, me understanding the stages of the journey I was in, and those were all the big takeaways. If I could do it all again, I would just have grace from the very beginning. But I didn't know then what I do know now. And it's all good. And that's why I'm here. 6 years locked. Just had a lock anniversary. June 1st, 2026 was my 6 year lock anniversary. So that was exciting. All this hair that's left. And also just for you guys who are interested or maybe curious, I did write an ebook. It's on Amazon. It's called What Actually Matter. It's called What Mattered and What Actually Didn't Matter in my lock journey. You can also get it on Gumroad and get a PDF of it. If you don't have an Amazon, a Nook reader, or any kind of electronic device, you can literally download as a PDF and read it. It's a nice small book and get through it in a day, if you're serious about it. And it's for those people who are just really curious to know, do I want to do locks? What does it take? Where do I start? How do I do this? Can I do it on my own? It's just really one of those kind of books. It's not going to give you all the answers to all the questions in locks. It's not going to say you how to do your hair on your own for locks. It's going to just let you know if this is something you possibly may want to do. So again, for each zone, definitely check out the bio in my YouTube right now. You'll find out all that information about the ebook, and definitely support the girl. If you got the ebook, let me know you got it, what you think about it. And if you're new here, definitely make sure you subscribe. Let me know how I know you, how you came across my channel. And if you're not new here and you've been vibing out with me, definitely leave me a comment. Let me know how's it going with you. And for everybody who's in New York City watching the games tonight, I understand starting at 8 p.m. You guys are ready, locked and loaded to pull your triggers for the New Yorks to win. I get it. But that's all I got for you guys. Thank you guys for rocking out with me. Hope you guys have a safe weekend. Not really weekend, but a safe week, And on top of that, if you want to jump in the comments, let me know anything you want to see from me. Definitely let me know. Please share my video. And that's it. That's all I got for you. Shout out to the cynical one. Just another short video I'm doing for the Mondays. And I will see you guys later. Peace. Bye.